Hey Scorpio, this is Tina with 85th House Vibrations, and this just in. This is where we get all up in other folks' business about love and relationships. This reading will be good for Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising. And if you would like to pull together a more complete picture of what the rest of April could look like for you, you can check videos for your Moon and or Rising sign if you happen to know what that is. This is a general reading, so it will not resonate with everyone. I want to address the fact that I've seen some comments, and I hadn't started to answer comments yet, saying that there's been some sound issues in some of the videos, and I did listen back, and I think the Leo video is the main culprit. If you hang in there, because I start off talking pretty low, and then the volume rises. There's still a lot of noise in that video for those of you who might need to look at the Leo video for some reason. It's noisy, but eventually you start to hear me. I think what it might be is I use my webcam, and the fan will kick on in my laptop, and it is pretty noisy. It gets annoying. I keep saying that I am going to actually do something else camera-wise, but I haven't done it yet. So let's get started, Scorpio. Oh, this is the Llewellyn Tarot. If anybody would be interested in getting their own deck and you're wondering what this is the Llewellyn Tarot. And I pulled 3 cards. If we need clarifiers, I'll be pulling those from this little pocket-sized Rider Tarot. All right, now let's get started. So Scorpio, we've got the Chariot card. And I'm sorry about that. This is a washed out deck. The lighting is bad. I've got the window open too, and it's kind of dreary. I've got a light on, but yeah, you can only do so much on a budget, right? With the technology. So this is the 7th major arcana. It's the Chariot, and this talks about movement in your personal relationships, in your private life, in the private sector of your world. The Chariot card falls in the 4th house of the astrology chart. And the 4th house is your home of origin, and it's the home that you create for yourself and or others, you know, as you become an adult. Workings of the 4th house are always going on in your life. The 4th house esoterically is where it all begins and where it all ends. And I know, you know, logically it seems to be Aries to Pisces, and that is true. It's just a little different, and I'm not going to get into that in this video, but since the 4th house, like I said, it's the home base. It's no matter what the environment that you grew up in, it is considered your home base. Whether you grew up in a house with mom and dad and siblings and a dog, or whether you grew up in the foster care system, that's the roots of your being. And so the things that took place and made you who you are, the things that happened while you were in the home, no matter what the home was, is always working in your life. So the 4th house is extremely important. It's the first of the water houses. The moon rules this house. Cancer is the traditional ruler of the 4th house, or the natural ruler of the 4th house. So to have the Chariot card come up, in my opinion, is one of the biggest deals as far as the major arcana are concerned. So, seems like there's been some sort of, there's a resurgence of confidence, of willpower, of the energy to make moves. And Scorpios and Leos, in my opinion, seem to have the most effect on the people around them energetically. And what I mean by that is however you feel, everybody else around you feels. You influence other people's energy. So if you're moving, then everybody's moving with you. If you're feeling confident, if you're feeling strong, then, you know, pretty much everybody around you is going to feel that way too. And they're going to jump on board. And what I'm saying is, so if you have broken up some energy that, you know, you may have been feeling like was holding you back, was holding you stagnant, that's a good thing. Because when you pick up, everything around you picks up. So that is certainly good news. The next card is the Four of Cups reversed. And the Four of Cups talks about, you know, letting bygones be bygones. In the upright position, there's a young maiden. She sits there, her arms are folded, knees drawn up. She's not looking around her. I don't know what she's looking at. Her eyes may even be closed. And I'm really, really sorry about this lighting. But there are 3 cups that are standing. And they seem to be standing firmly, not even a stone's throw away from where she is. And then there's another cup that's dangling above her head. And she doesn't see any of them. You know, whether that's intentional or not, the outcome's still the same. She doesn't see them. So she doesn't see what's already firmly rooted in her life. You know, this may be people that already love her to death, and she doesn't see it. And she doesn't see anything new that might be coming in, which is this cup that's dangling above her head. She just is not in a position to see it. Well, when it's reversed, this is a person opening up, allowing themselves now to let bygones be bygones, and to, you know, this is a person who's now ready to explore, see what new opportunities are out there for them. And since these are cups and this is a love reading, we're talking about what opportunities are available emotionally. Intuitively. Because it doesn't have to be just about romantic love. This could be just new, what's the word I'm looking for? New intuitions out. I know I'm not saying what I'm trying to say, but, you know, this is not just about romantic love or, you know, even friendly love. This is about intuition and creativity too. Cups rule all these things, but in this case we are talking about love. So this is somebody who seems to be ready to leave the past behind and who is ready to open themselves up to offerances again, feeling strong enough with the movement of the Chariot card to actually let themselves be vulnerable again. And again, that's good news, Scorpio. I feel like whatever shell you have been in, this is you breaking out of some sort of shell. This is allowing yourself to come back to the surface and allowing yourself to be alive again, to move around again, to remind people of who you are and what you're worth, and remind people that you are in fact worth loving. And like I said, when you feel good, they feel good. They remember. As soon as Scorpio gets on their stuff, people's like, yes, that's okay. Yeah, that's why I fell in love. Yeah, I remember you. Hey, girl. And Scorpio, I feel like that's what you're doing. Okay, let's see what else we got. We've got the Four of Swords reversed. You've thought about it long enough. The Four of Swords upright, you know, talks about needing to take some time, quiet down, and think about it. Get your thoughts in order. Analyze all the new ideas that have come in. Think about the choices that you've made, the conversations that you've had. The Four of Swords comes up to say, okay, now with all of that, let's take some time alone and think about it. Let's dissect this stuff from end to end. This is a meditation card. Well, reversed, in this case, with the previous cards, this is saying, yeah, Scorpio, you've thought about it long enough. It's time to move on whatever it is that you're thinking about. You've been in solitude long enough. You've been by yourself long enough. You've pondered over your thoughts and ideas, you know, long enough. It's time to move forward. You've got enough information. Okay, we've got two sets of four. The fours are ruled by the Emperor card. That's the major arcana for the fours. So there's a lot of power in you, Scorpio. A lot of power. You really are officially the man right now. This is about you being a leader and a powerful one. That's what the Emperor is. Be careful, though, that you don't come on too strong. I don't think that you run that risk, Scorpio, not right now, of coming on too strong, because you are just coming from a point where you have decided to open up. But I mean, there's so much power in you that maybe you don't even realize how much of it is there. So you can just start moving and, you know, you go just plowing down situations, and people may get plowed down with it if you're not carefully. If you're not careful, and that could be very unintentional. Just make sure as you are bulldozing that you don't doze the people that you want around out of your way. That's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, recognize the power within, because Scorpio, you are controlling everything in these relationships. That's what I'm saying. With great power comes great responsibility. And your Scorpios are very powerful little beings anyway. So whether you're brooding or not, I mean, you could be in meditation. You could be all closed up. You don't have to be moving at all. And people can feel your power in the next state. So imagine how much you exude when you are up and running. So that's all I'm just saying. Be careful, because everybody is not ready for you. You're ready, but they might not be. They may have thought they was. Even if they're rolling with you, they ain't ready. So just be mindful. Okay, so let's see if we can see what else. This just shows movement. So, you know, I want to see if there's anybody else involved. I think this talks about you and all you. And maybe that's what this is about, Scorpio. Maybe this is about you getting yourself together. See, the Devil card comes up just when I talked about being mindful of your power. Because with this Devil card showing up, you know, you can get a sniff of that power and realize that you are pulling the strings, like I said, because you are the puppet master. I really couldn't have said it any better myself than this Devil card coming up. But this is saying be careful, because you can very easily fall into some of these ways that are going to have to do a lot with carnal desires. You know, this is, you know, when we talk about the devil, we talk about addictions and obsessions and, you know, too much of a good thing. Putting material things above spiritual things. being power struck. And that's more of what I'm getting out of this devil card coming up, because I just said that because like I said, you know that you are the puppet master right now. You know that you are controlling everything. So if you're not careful, it could turn into this. And you know, if you take a look at the devil card, those two people right there that are chained together, you know, that's just the lovers, right? I think those are the same two people, in fact I'm sure of it, that's on the lovers card. You know, this is when things in love get a little shaky. And they can break away from that, but they feel like they can't. You know, with the devil looming over you like that, that's a hell of a presence. And Scorpio, that's what I was saying before. That's how people feel about you when you're around. That's a hell of a presence. And yeah, me being a Scorpio rising and a Scorpio moon, you know, I had no idea. As I started to get into astrology and stuff, and I started to come across these things and think about how they have played out in my life, I was like, oh, okay. Because, you know, Scorpio, with you, people are either insanely attracted to you or extremely repulsed. And even in that repulsion, it's like there's, and the repulsion, don't get me wrong, it's because there's a fear of that Scorpio being able to see straight through a person. Nobody wants to be seen through, because everybody has got a little something to hide. So when Scorpio comes around and people are starting to feel exposed, you know, people will jump on the defense. And that manifests as them not liking you. But that is because they're afraid that you will expose them. You're that powerful. You're like this looming energy. So whomever it is that you may be dealing with in a relationship, Scorpio, and I don't think this is a news flash, but you have all the power. So you got to be really, really careful how you handle it. That's all I'm saying. Don't let it go to your head. Okay, let's pull another card. Scorpio. The lovers, man. Look. Okay, so what? All right. Oh my goodness, I wish I could show you this a little bit better. So, are these the same people? The people in the lovers card look a little bit taller, don't they? Still, same thing, same concept, except in the lovers, there's no chains. The devil, chains. Okay. So now we got 3 major arcana, and we got the lovers in love reading, and you know, of course, the lovers is about generally 2 people coming together in a relationship that is not frivolous or not superficial. And Scorpio, we all know that you don't do superficial. So we got the devil and the lovers. And I gotta be honest, people may get feel some type of way when I say this, but I don't always shudder when I see the devil card. You know, for me, it really just depends on where my mind is at that day. Because when the devil card shows up in a reading, you know, sometimes that can feel good. It depends on what walk with the devil you're taking. But a lot of times, whatever walk it is that we're taking with the devil, we're walking that path because some way or another, it feels good. Whether you're doing drugs, whether you're having a lot of sex, whether you are, you know, some sort of, I don't know, I don't think being an adrenaline junkie is of the devil, but there's some sort of, you know, I think there's a power thing that goes along with that. And it gets out of hand. But it feels good. You know, it's so wrong, but it's so right. So again, in my opinion, you know, this looks like a good time to me. This looks like a good time to me. Scorpio, I am actually loving this a lot. You just got to be careful not to get too caught up in carnal, earthly desires, and you know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in power struggles, or, you know, that's it. It's just about you continuing to have some sort of control over what is going on around you, because like I said, this is great energy. I love everything about these cards. But you know, everything has a I don't want to say good and bad, but there's always the pros and the cons. And I think the cons in this reading is that you run the risk of too much of a good thing. That's what I think this is. Too much of a good thing, and that could get you caught up in this space for a minute. But the Lover's card being the last card that I pulled, you know, even if you get into this space, it doesn't last, Scorpio. You're smart. You know what's up. And you are about, you know, you're trying to rise through the ranks. You know, Scorpio has the 3 levels: the ground dweller, the snake, and the phoenix. And your existence is about, you know, rising through the ranks to be the phoenix rising. So even after you come out of the dark, which is, Scorpio, been in the dark, knows about the dark, is not uncomfortable in the dark. That's why you got to be careful, because this is not always uncomfortable for Scorpio energy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to get stuck there. But this last card, the sun is shining. The Lovers, when the Lovers card pops up, people don't realize that it's not always peaches and cream. The Lovers card originally talks about 2 people in some sort of relationship, that there are issues and situations that need to be dealt with. That is still the case. But in the case of the surrounding cards, this is an all good. This ends up on an all good note. Scorpio, this is a great reading for you. And as a result of you allowing yourself to receive something, allowing yourself to see the love that's in front of you, getting your confidence back, getting it moving again, the end result is whoever your baby is, looks like that's who you end up with. And that's the way I see it, Scorpio. So on that note, you know, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to say, and I think I forgot to mention this in a couple of the other videos, I am going to give away a free 15-minute reading when we hit the 3,000 subscriber mark. And I want to say thank you guys for giving the videos a chance. And for those of you who are returning, thanks for hanging in there with me. Thank you so much. And so I would like to show my appreciation. It's been a slow but steady growth. A lot of that has to do with me, because I am not nearly as consistent as I would like to be. But, you know, this isn't the only thing that I do. So I have to kind of get it out when I can. But I'm grateful. You know, I'm really grateful that you guys listen, and that you guys, you know, even give damn what I have to say about it. So, okay, that's it. Thanks, Scorpio. Great reading. I hope you guys have fun the rest of this month, and I hope to talk to you guys again next month.